At 2, Jacob was diagnosed with focal seizures. He had very short spells. He would look to the left. They'd last about 30 seconds. And at that time, we doctored with Dr. Brenningstall at Gillette's, and he put Jacob on some medication, and he was on meds for 4 years with no seizures. And Dr. Brenningstall had thought that he was growing out of the seizures, and so they started to lower his meds, dropped him down half of a dose in February of 2009, and a month later the seizures came back, and they came back more frequent. He was having dizzy spells, up to 3 to 5 to 7 a day. And all summer long we doctored, and we couldn't figure out if the dizzy spells were seizures or if they were just caused by something else. And it was really a difficult summer because you don't want to be by the water, and you don't want to have him ride his bike because he had spells as he was riding his bike. And we really kept a close eye on him pretty much didn't leave him out of our sight. And doctoring with Dr. Brenningstall, we found out, we knew something was wrong, and we told Dr. Brenningstall that we needed to figure it out. And so last year, 3 days before Thanksgiving, he admitted Jacob to Gillette's to do monitoring to find out if we could capture these spells because they were so short. And we were there, and we captured one, and the other one that we were going to capture, we were too far away from the monitor, so we only caught one. But then they did an MRI the day before Thanksgiving and found that he had a tumor on his brain. And in looking back at the MRI when he was 2, they saw it there, but it was something that was so slight that it was easily missed. So the MRI, that was a really difficult day. The doctor, I just knew something wasn't right. And as much as I prayed that there would be nothing there, I think I knew that there would be something. And so our doctor showed us that on the screen, and it was almost surreal. It was almost as if you're looking at this going, no way, that's not my son, but his name's on the screen, and yep, it was. So we asked her, what do we do now? And she said, well, they do know that it's a tumor that was there when he was very little. They figure it was benign, it was very slow growing, and so they told us that we will watch it and we'll do some tests and we'll see where to go. So needless to say, last year was not a so very happy Thanksgiving. We spent it with our family, but we just didn't know what to do next. So our Dr. Brenningstall referred us to Rochester, to Mayo. He has a colleague, Dr. Whirl, that he works very close with, and he says, I would like you to go there. And Dr. Brenningstall was awesome to us. You could tell he really, really cared for Jake, was very fond of Jacob, and wanted the best for him. And so we came here for the first time in June of 2010, and we, at that time, was at the hospital we stayed for
3 days.
Was that in June?
Yes.
Yeah. So in June they had told us that for our time in June, we were gonna have monitoring for 3 days for EEG to try to capture these dizzy spells, because meds weren't covering it. We didn't know what they were. And so they admitted us to St. Mary's, and we had phenomenal care at St. Mary's. The nursing staff were fantastic to us. They were just so, they listened to you, and they just really went above what they needed to. When we were at St. Mary's, he was monitored for 48 hours and they dropped his meds, which was very scary because you don't know what to expect. You don't know if he's gonna have a bad seizure, or it just was really very scary. But the reassuring thing is that they had someone watching him through video 24 hours a day. And they, when he had a spell, some of them we saw, some of them we didn't see. And when he had a spell, they told the nurses to go check on him because he was having a spell, and we may not have even seen it. And that happened a couple times. Is he okay? Yep, he's fine. Well, he just had a spell. I didn't even know it. Thank you, you know. And then my parents came down, Paul's parents came down and spent some time with us. Morgan came with my mom and dad, and they have a Wii, and Morgan wanted to play Just Dance. And so, because we were on video, we held up the cartridge Just Dance for the Wii up to the camera and said, we are about to entertain you. So we're probably, who knows, they probably put that on YouTube. But we were dancing in the room, weren't we?
I was. You guys hardly danced.
I was embarrassed. But we danced.
Camera, for the EEG, it was electric. So whatever move I took, it looked at my brain.
Yeah.
And every time I moved out of the bed, it followed me. That was weird. I looked at the camera, I was walking, and I saw it follow me.
The cleaning lady came in and she said, this is the first time I haven't been able to clean a room because there's dancing in the room. So that was pretty fun. But then after that, in June, they were able to capture the dizzy spells, found out that they were all seizures. And they knew from the EEG that the seizures were coming from the tumor. And so part of that, it was great to know because it gave you a little bit more reassurance that in taking the tumor out, the seizures could be gone. So we went home and we prayed a lot. We had our family and friends praying for us. They gather all their data and then they bring it to their surgical team. The surgical team consists of, my understanding, the top surgeons, radiologists, everybody, and then they come up with a plan. And they had told us they would get back to us in a couple of weeks. So we went home and we went to the lake, we just enjoyed some family time, not knowing what the outcome would be. Then Dr. Worrell did call us, told us that that we needed to do surgery, the risk would be that he would have a 50% chance that he would lose his peripheral vision looking to the right because there was a deeper part of the tumor that was directly next to that part of the vision, and that he would have a 50% chance that he would have some speech and comprehension deficits. That news was devastating. You just thought that he would be able to tell you his wants and his needs. It was really hard. We called our parents. the support was great.